Time for math today being Wednesday, May 13th. Today in math, you will need pages 319 to 320. Today, pages 319 to 320. We're going to take our two-digit divisors a little step further today. We're going to have a longer problem. Yesterday we would had like 75 divided by 20. So today we're just going to add just another step of division. Just keep going, same steps over and over again. All right, so let's look at page 319. Look at the box at the top of the page. Step number 1, divide 2 into 7. Write the 3 in the quotient above the 5. Multiply 3 times 20 to get 60. Subtract 75 minus 60 would equal 15. Compare 15 with 20. 15 is less than 20. Bring down the next digit, 0. Step number 5 is what we're adding today. That's the new part today. Step number 6, divide 2 into the first two numbers, 15. 15 divided by 2 equals 7. Continue with the remaining steps of division. Okay, so it does change a little bit once you start into your problem. Step number 6 is a little bit different than step number 1. Okay, it's just going to take practice. And guys, listen, I know that we have today and tomorrow left of class, but please know in 4th grade, you will start off with a review of this. This will not be, on the first day of 4th grade on a test. So, it's okay. So let's do the best we can. So let's start. We are going to just pretend like, let me grab a paper here. We're just going to pretend like for right now, the 0 doesn't exist. Okay, and this is just what we did yesterday. So my first step is I'm going to make sure I take this whole number of 75. Okay, now like it said, you don't have a 20 table written down. So you're going to say how many 2's are in 7, or if you want to say 7 divided by 2. How close can we get without going over? 7 divided by 2. 3. Right, because 4 times 2 would be 8. That's too much. So if you look at your example problem, we pop the 3 up here over the 5 because we're saying the whole number of 75. Now, you can do two things here. You can come over and say 20 times 3. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 2 is 6. Or you could say 3 times 0 equals 0. 3 times 2 equals 6, and then you subtract. Whichever you want to do is fine. 5 minus 0 equals 5. 7 minus 6 equals 1. Number 4, we compare. 15 is smaller than 20, so we're good. We got close enough. Then it says step number 5, today is what we're adding new. So we're going to bring down this 0. Now we're going to have 150 divided by 20. Now this is where it gets a little bit different. If you look at step number 6, it says divide 2 into the first two numbers of 15. So right here, when you're dividing, you would say 15 divided by 2. How close can we get to 15 without going over dividing by 2? 7. That's right. So we pop the 7 up here, and you can do whichever step you want. 20 times 7 is 0. 7 times 2 is 14. Or you can say 7 times 0 equals 0. 7 times 2 equals 14. However you want to do that is fine. And then you subtract 0. That's Step 7 says continue with remaining steps. 0 minus 0 is 0. 5 minus 4 equals 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. I'm not going to put in that 0. It's getting to be too many numbers. We compare. 10 is smaller than 20. We don't have any numbers to bring down. So now our remainder is 10. Okay. So two things we're adding today. We're adding another digit, so we have a hundreds, ones, tens, hundreds place today in our dividend. Then we're also changing right here where we start our division process over again. 15 divided by 2. Okay? All right, so let's look at number 1. Give me just a second to get all of my information put up here. I'll try to move quickly. You have, number 1 is divide and check. So this is 1A. You have 840 divided by 20. Okay, so I'm going to do just like I did before. I'm going to take and cover up my 0, just so I can narrow down in my head how many numbers I'm looking at. I want to use this whole number of 84 because you cannot divide 8 by 20. 8 cupcakes by 20 people will not work. So we're taking the whole number of 84 divided by 20. Well, I want to take that down a shortcut, another step. So 8 divided by 2. How close can we get? What times 2 would give us 8? Perfect. A 4, exactly. So I'm going to come here. Now I want to say 4 times 20. I can come over and I can figure here. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 2 is 8. Or I can say 4 times 0 equals 0. 4 times 2 equals 8. And then I subtract. 4 minus 0 equals 4. 8 minus 8 equals 0. I'm not going to put that 0 there. It's getting to be too many numbers. We compare. 4 is smaller than 20. Good. So now, our new process today is we bring down the 0. And we have 40 divided by 20. 40 divided by 20. We have another step. We're just starting division all over again. See, we have another place left here. Okay, 40 divided by 20. What would be the second part of my quotient here? 2. That's right. I could say over here, I'll put it right here. 20 times 2, 0, 4. Or I could say 2 times 0 equals 0. 2 times 2 equals 4. Subtract. 0 minus 0 equals 0. 4 minus 4 equals 0. All right? And then I need to check. So we come over and we have 42 times 20. And then this carries us back to 2 digits times 2 digits. 0 times 2 equals 0. 0 times 4 equals 0. Now we move over to the 2. I'm going to pop in my placeholder. 2 times 2 equals 4. 2 times 4 equals 8. And then we add. 0 plus 0 equals 0. 0 plus 4 equals 4. 0 plus 8 equals 8. And it checks. Okay. So let's check it out. You want to do B together? If you want to pause the video and try, you can. And then you can try to start the video back and see if you've got all your answers correct. Just try not to get, thinking, oh, and get into a rush thinking step by step by step, okay? One step at the time. Don't try to think ahead and confuse yourself. 520 divided by 40. Step by step, okay? Don't get overwhelmed. Just one step at the time. So let's start with, I'm going to cover up the 0 here. This takes us back to what we did before. We're going to use this whole number of 52, right? That's the first thing. So mark that in your mind, 52. Then we're going to simplify it even more. And we're going to say 5 divided by 4. How many 4s are in 5? How close can we get without going over? 1, right? Because 4 times 1 equals 4, but 2 times 4 equals 8. So that's too much. So we put our 1. 1 times 0 equals 0. 1 times 4 equals 4. And then we subtract. 2 minus 0 equals 2. 5 minus 4 equals 1. Okay? 12 is smaller than 40, so we're good. We got close enough. Now our new step number 5, is we bring down in our steps of division. This is 0. So now we have 120 divided by 40. And you remember step 6 in the top box said divide 2 into the first 2 numbers. So just to give you a little reminder, just like we did here, we're going to have 12 divided by 4. How close can we get to 12 on the 4 table? Perfect. 3. Yes, absolutely. So we pop the 3 up here. And I can either come over here and figure 40 times 3. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 4 equals 12. Or I can say 3 times 0 equals 0. 3 times 4 equals 12. And then we subtract. 0 minus 0 equals 0. 2 minus 2. And then 1 minus 1 equals 0. And then we have to check. 13 times 40. 0 times 3 equals 0. 0 times 1 equals 0. We're moving over to the 4 place, so we're saying 13 times 40. So we're going to pop in that placeholder since we're moving over. 4 times 3 equals 12. The 2 goes down. Plus 1 goes up. 4 times 1 equals 4. Plus 1 equals 5. And then we add 0. 0 plus 2 equals 2. 0 plus 5 equals 5. And hallelujah, it checks. All right, I'm going to let you do C on your own, just one step at a time, okay? And then let's look at page 320. Solve the story problem. At the store, Miss Enders, this problem here, this is a 2-step problem. Okay? Because they don't give you the price of the peaches. They give you 3 pounds of peaches at $2.49 per pound. So you don't get 3 pounds of peaches for $2.49. So you'll need to figure up how much the peaches cost. Then you can answer the question of how much did she spend altogether. Number 3, find the average and circle the answer. Number 4, write the temperatures. Number 5, draw lines to match the temperature with its description. And if you don't remember those, you can use your glossary in the back of the book. It has that information there for you. And then your brain booster there. There's a pattern to those numbers. That's what all math is, just patterns. Okay? And you, on homework, let's just do A and D. So I'm going to circle that in my book. So A and D on the homework. You do not have to do B and C. All right. So if you have any questions about the math, you can please let me know. You also have on page 319, Ham the astrochimp was trained to push levers in order to demonstrate that tasks could be done in space. All right, so that's your math video for today. So when you're finished with math and you're ready to move on, we'll have language, our last video, next.